This session will be for heartbreak. So anytime that a connection has ended in any way, so calling in the guides, I feel a very comforting, supportive energy. And this energy of understanding, perhaps understanding why it had to end, or just some kind of understanding. Or even maybe an understanding that it didn't end. That all disconnection is but a temporary pause. Which really makes sense to me, especially because we can experience heartbreak when someone dies. But we actually can connect to them after they've passed. So disconnection really is sort of an illusion. They're actually redirecting the purpose of this. My intention was for heartbreak, but now what's coming through is boundaries. Basically, I guess on some level we can create disconnection in our life as a way of trying to set a boundary when we don't feel empowered to set boundaries, which means limits on what we'll allow into our fields. So I feel like this energy of conviction and strength, but really it's certainty, which again makes so much sense for me personally. In terms of boundaries, have to be very certain. You have to, if you've ever tried to set boundaries and not be certain, you know what I'm talking about. So actually this is the energy of clarity, certainty, and decisiveness. And for me, there's a lot of movement on the left side of the body, on the left shoulder, the left hip, the left heart area. There's part of the message is I will not allow myself to be your punching bag. I will not allow harm to my heart. And that includes projections. So when someone thinks you deserve it, but you don't. If that makes sense. Projections could be anything like someone mistreating a woman because she is a woman, but they were hurt by a different woman, for instance. So they're projecting that onto you just because you are a woman, if you understand what I'm saying, but you didn't do anything to them. That's what I mean by like a projection. Or another way of projecting is if someone feels, like jealous of someone, they can think you're the problem when their feeling of inadequacy is the problem. And they can like project onto you like you deserve a mean remark for looking good or something, you know what I mean? Like, no, your feeling of inadequacy is the problem, which you will feel regardless of the fact that I look good or don't. So those are two examples of like projection. So like not allowing or accepting any kind of projection. There's also this like knowing what's mine and what's yours. And a component to boundaries is like, again, knowing what's mine and what's yours. And I feel that's really like ownership of what's mine is being strengthened. And I feel this around the right shoulder, like the right back and shoulder. And the neck. So in some ways, what we're doing is creating protection for heartbreak, for it, in the sense that perhaps in the past, a part of the heartbreak came from a lack of boundaries, a lack of stopping other people's hurt, like to use that example, like hurt people hurting people, like to stop other people's hurt from hurting us, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's really shifting out in the solar plexus and the hip area. There's just this energy of clarity and decisiveness and kind of neutrality. It's important that it be neutral, because if you engage defensively or attacking, you become entangled in it. So it's important that there is a neutral clarity, like a shield, like it's just no. And an ability not to take it personally. Because as soon as we do take it personally, we are engaged and carrying it. So there's an ability to not take it personally. And this is also on a cognitive level. Because I feel like quite a lot shifting in the mind, in the mental body, in the thought stream. Can also be the ability to not take on other people's thoughts. For instance, we may know what they're thinking kind of based on how they look at us without them having to say it. So there's boundaries in regards to looks, if that makes sense. Like the invisible energy sent our way. Not just, well, words are invisible, but you understand what I'm saying. More subtle forms of projection, really. There's so much clearing happening in the thought body, the mental body, and the thought stream. So yeah, this will resonate a lot with people who have been bullied. or anything, it doesn't have to be direct bullying. It can just be other people really not being present. And to be honest, they don't even have to project something negative. They could also project something like positive, but if it's not you, it's still not truly an interaction with you. So there's clearing out. And just a lot of protective, clear, decisive energy. And also there's like an awareness of how important, why this is important. Because it's what allows you to stay in your own field. Like, I think a lot of us have a tendency to want to just let things go. But this is pointing out that interferes with your ability to stay in your field when you let it happen, basically. You aren't staying true to yourself on some level. And as this kind of clears out your field, you should feel the difference. You could feel, oh, that's me. That's cleared out. So the other stuff wasn't. You know what I mean? And that it's important to be able to access our authentic self. And to stay true to that. So now there's a release of any heartbreak that was experienced to not having that protection there before. So misunderstanding this as yourself, misunderstanding the things that were said or done as true, basically, as you. It's not you. So that's purging from the heart. And the mind. I just feel so crisp, like a deer. You know how alert a deer is? There's just this energy of being present and alert. Alert to what is me and what is not me. Something's pushing out of the sacral. And still grief releasing and misunderstandings releasing. And frustration releasing. And defensiveness releasing. even defensiveness to ourselves, or expectation of misunderstanding. And there's this green energy coming through, and this apricot energy coming through. And I do feel that is healing the inner child, the authentic self of the inner child. And I'm seeing like a rose, some kind of flower. Stability being brought to the hips. And like this ability to stand on our own 2 feet in our own power and self and our own authenticity. Like a really big shift in the hips for me. Still working on the musculature here. Just that those bones alignment, something and a reconnection to the higher self, or there's a part of us that's listening, that's again the very aware part of ourself is coming online here. And now I see this dark purple. I feel this is a very I'm thinking of like the way a fox is stealthy and like clever and like careful. It's like how to navigate certain situations very carefully so that no harm can come to you. It's a protective energy. And again, it's so aware. It's so aware of I guess danger in a sense. Or what is not in alignment. I feel like it's strengthening the psoas muscle and all those muscles, the hip flexors, all the pelvic support muscles. Yeah. Okay, I feel that is complete. That is all for that session.